Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary for a 80s sci-fi movie that we haven't seen yet, The Ice Pirates. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie in a couple years. I bought this at Toys R Us before they went out of business. They're coming back this year. It's 94 minutes long. I know you guys have never heard of this movie, but hey, it's good to watch movies that are more obscure, so let's do it. It's an MGM movie, before Disney bought it out, and then it became Hollywood Studios. It used to be MGM Studios. You can join me in the chat. I was going to start at 12, but no, I want to do this early. And this came out a year after Star Wars, so it's not a ripoff. It does its own thing. The Ice Pirates. Planetary day. The galaxy has gone dry. Water has become the only thing left of value. Like now, Templars from the planet Mithra gain control of this life-giving resource. Their power is mostly except for a few rebel pilots who survive by stealing items from the Templar fleet. Yeah, they have the opening crawl. Well, it's just a crawl. It doesn't go up. It's just an opening text. Robert Urich, may he rest in peace. Mary Crosby. And the fact that this never got a Shout Factory release is insane because it's got a cult following. Angelica Houston, yeah, she did this before she got an Oscar nomination. Excuse me. I gotta eat something, but later. John Matusak, yeah, he also passed away. I think he was Sloth from the Goonies. Because I was going to go out today, but I'm like, you know what? I want to do this podcast. I want to stay home, be safe. I'm going to the theater in a couple of days in Manhattan, and I want to be safe. John Carradine is in this movie. Yeah, Josh, I just started my podcast. It's 94 minutes long, so it's not going to take very long to get through this. I chose something light and short because I didn't want to see anything 3 hours long. Dun, 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 dun. Like that music. Who did the music in this movie? Bruce Broughton. Or Broughton. It's a PG movie, so this is an early, 80s PG movie. Special effects, Max W. Anderson. Also, Ron Perlman's in this movie and a bunch of other people. And there is a black guy in the movie, so it's not just a bunch of white people in space. Because Lando was the black guy in, Empire and Jedi in the 80s as well. I figured I'd just stay home and do the podcast instead of going outside because I don't really need to go outside today. We're just in the opening credits. These effects look really good for 1984. There's no CG in this movie. This is like a low-budget Guardians of the Galaxy, except there's no Rocket, or Groot. But there are really good practical effects. I miss those. Because nowadays everything has to look like a video game. And I'm like, no, you can do practical effects still and make it work. I mean, Guardians 1 and 2 did have that. I mean, the makeup was practical. It wasn't CG, mostly. Stuart Raffel directed this. Let me see what else he's done. Wait, let me just. No ringtone. Yeah. Good makeup effects. Yeah, he's on the toilet. Yeah, that wasn't needed. Yeah, fart joke. No, Stuart Raffle, not Steve. He's still alive, old, but he did Mac and Me, yeah, which is laughable, but I do like that movie. He also did the Philadelphia Experiment. I heard good things about that. I haven't seen it yet. Look at these droids or robots. It's cute. At least I know my limits. I'm like, he's still doing stuff. He did a TV miniseries in 2019, Isabel and Flo. He probably took a break from Hollywood because of COVID. I'm like, yeah, I know. A lot of people did. And while he isn't a George Lucas, he's still a better director than J.J. Abrams. I can easily say that. At least he makes movies I can watch. He did Mannequin 2, High Risk, The Sea Gypsies. hmm Mannequin 2, Tammy and the T Rex, which is laughable, but there's a charm to it as well. hmm A female, because there was a female in Star Wars, all three trilogies, even though the third trilogy was not needed. What's the look down there? Princess, like Princess Leia. And this would be a foreshadow. Yeah, I know. This movie would be a foreshadowing for shows like The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. So, and of course, the new ones coming out, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, etc. hmm The villains don't look like stormtroopers; they look more like knights. Yeah, like Knights of the Round Table instead. Ice. Yep. Ice, baby. hmm It's been a while. I don't remember this movie that much. I saw it on cable a long time ago. Yep. Good stunt work. Dun, dun, dun. It also reminds me of things like Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers. Yeah. So he's an anti-hero since pirates like to take things that aren't theirs. I'm not the jackass guys. I'm not gonna do crazy stunts and get myself in the hospital. I'm like, no, I like being safe. Oh, he cut his hand off. Practical effect again. I miss those. You got a robot with an axe. Because I see those jackass stunts and I don't know how these guys are still alive. Well, at least two of them passed away. I'm like, yeah, because again, wrong place at the wrong time. Wait, here we go. Because, like I said, sometimes you gotta just stay home. You're safer in your own home than you are going outside late. When you're tired, never drive a car. That's for all of you guys when you see this podcast. Never drive a car if you're under the influence of any medications or booze or if you're very tired. Just walk. You'll thank yourself later. This movie's only 94 minutes. Like, it's not 2.5 hours. And I will say this again, better movie than Eternals. It knows what it is. It's short. It doesn't drag ass. It's very short. It knows the pacing that it needs to have. Sci-fi movies do not need to be boring. Trust me, I sat through enough of those in over 30 years. I also want to do Galaxina, but I'll do that in March or April. I'm not going to do it for the winter. It's been a while. I haven't seen the movie since before COVID. Open the door, I'll waste. Yeah, the chat is pretty empty today. I wonder why. I guess they went out today. Kids need to go out today because they have off from school today and tomorrow. Dun, 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 dun. I would love to get this signed at a Comic Con by some of the living actors like Ron Perlman or Angelica Houston, because some of the actors are still alive. Even the director is, and I'm like, yeah, I appreciate the old. I got this movie for 4 cents at Toys R Us. It had a sticker on it, and it was off. It was like 90% off, and I got it for 4 cents. That's a hell of a bargain. I wish all DVDs were 4 cents now. I could get like 100 of them today. Eating fried chicken on a train. Yeah, again, guys, it's a movie. This movie's fun. I love having it. I hadn't seen it in several years, so it was time. Just eat an orange. Yeah, because when I got a pneumonia when I was 18, I had to stay home for a week and a half. So I didn't want to die. Jim Henson died from pneumonia and because he didn't get treated in time. My health comes first, man. Even though I'm fat, I'm trying to take care of myself by eating fruits. That robot is really cute. Doesn't talk, it just beeps and bloops. It's like the robot from Rocky 4. Of course he's going to take the woman because procreation needs to happen, even in space. Because, like I said, I love keeping my old movies. When I went to Comic Con, I took a comic book movie on Blu-ray and a sci-fi movie, sci-fi action film like the Power Rangers movie. Do I like this more than Crawl? Yeah, because Crawl has a British chick. She's dubbed over. That's why they couldn't understand what she was saying, so they dubbed her over. That never happened in Star Wars. Not with the main actress. Like Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher was not dubbed over. Yes, Padme, um, yes, Natalie Portman was dubbed over in Phantom Menace, but only in a couple of scenes because she didn't have a British accent, so they had to like dub her over. It's like, is the Federation's gone too far this time? Didn't bother me because I think she's the hottest chick in space. That's what made me a fan of hers and my favorite actress of all time. And look, there's a black guy in another black guy in a space movie, and this movie is a lot more progressive than I could have remembered because this director is not a racist. The commander's black. That's awesome. And this is one of the few sci-fi movies from the '80s that Roger Corman had no hand in, even though it feels like one. Mary Crosby, what a lovely woman. And she's a real woman. She's not, there's no non binary here. She has long, dark hair, thin body, bit thin frame, beautiful face. She still has a beautiful face. Hmm. Angelica Houston. She's one of the hottest Oscar winners ever with that big nose of hers. Yum. Hey, Jay, you just made it. I just started Ice Pirates from 1984. I know it was before your time, so look it up. There's places you can stream it, and it's available on DVD everywhere on Amazon or eBay or whatever. It's worth having because I'm never going to get rid of this DVD. It has some significance for me because I got it at Toys R Us. Nobody was buying it, so I'm like, I'll buy it. I like the movie. It has a certain charm. I would have loved this movie if I saw it as a kid, but I didn't. I never heard of it. I did see it at the video store when I was a kid, but I never rented it or bought it. So when I became an adult, I saw it on cable and I was like, wow, they put effort into this. And look, an early Atari game. It looks like the Star Wars Atari game. Contest over. Don't you mean game over? Hey, John. What's up, Salvatore? Salvatore or Salvatore? I think it's Salvatore. Yeah, Salvatore. I just grew up with movies like this. I saw Star Wars when I was a kid, all the originals and the prequels when I was a teenager. I saw movies like Flash Gordon from 1980 and Masters of the Universe. I grew up with that, guys. It's part of my DNA, you know. And that's why I love Mando now as in my 30s because I'm like, Mando gave me exactly what I needed. A Star Wars property that didn't suck, that had no feminism, gay agendas, or anything. Just a straightforward Western space action adventure. That's what I wanted. Hmm. Just like in Dune, which I loved last year, by the way, water is like an important resource. Yeah, I miss you, John Matusak. I really do, man. He was a good actor. He wasn't just a muscle bound dude. He was a good actor. Anybody that could put on makeup and be Sloth from the Goonies and make that a memorable character, that's a good actor, man. Good actors, man. There's good actors in this movie. There's nobody like cringe. There was just some good actors in the 80s. Now it's very rare that we get a performance that's good, even with muscle bound guys. I mean, Cena's a good actor. He proved it. Peacemaker, he was not the problem. Trust me, nothing about Cena was the problem with that show. The problem was some of the writing, some of the cast, and I thought there were too many characters. You needed to have like five characters, and that's it. You didn't need like 15 characters and a lot of filler characters that just showed up. That's why I don't want to get a heart attack. I'm like, favorite Austin Powers, probably the first one. I know a lot of people like Spy Who Shagged Me, but the first one had Elizabeth Hurley, and also it's a classic. Excuse me. The first one, I would say. I'm one of the minority that likes the first one the best. Yeah, baby. I'm going to see those movies again, but in March. Rock, rock, rocking round the galaxy. Rock, rock, rocking round the galaxy. Rock, rock. Mm-hmm. No hat again because I don't want to get a headache. I had a lot of headaches this year, especially when I had the Moderna shot. I had chills, I had headaches, my arm was killing me, but I got it and I survived, man. Because it's all about survival, man. Life is all about survival. Definitely one of the best parody franchise. Yeah, and it was funny. All three movies made me laugh. Even Goldmember had a lot of moments that made me laugh. And I like Beyonce in the movie. I know a lot of people said she couldn't act. I thought she was charming in that. Oh, Mary Crosby, you beautiful creature. And he has an afro just like what was it, Con McLaughlin and Dune, which came out the exact same year, by the way, the original Dune, and then the remake with the redo with that Denis Villeneuve did. Timothy Chalamet had an afro as well. He had like curly hair. My dad thought he was British. I'm like, no, he's not. He's basically like a mix of like Tom Hiddleston and Finn Wolfhard, and he's great, man. He's a great lead. Yeah, his character's a little bit flat, but I'm like, you got to understand, Double Toasted. I'm going to say this in case you ever watch this. Denis Villeneuve's movies are very serious. He never does a comedy. He's not that kind of director. He's very highbrow. Everything he shoots is gorgeous, and he always does movies that are dead serious. Dune, Sicario, Arrival. None of those movies have any jokes in it because it's dead serious. He's like Christopher Nolan if he was from Canada. And I get that. I do get that. Oh yeah, this is the thing that they're going to get castrated. No, they're not going to show castration in a PG movie ever because it would get an R rating. Oh, trust me, I know. I believe you. People during the pandemic were like fighting each other for hand sanitizers and what was it? Masks and what else? Oh yeah, for toilet paper, acting like it was the end of the world. I'm like, guys, I'm still here. It's gonna just shave because you need a shave. Yeah, they're just gonna shave you. They're not gonna cut you off your Johnson. Yeah, I have to shave every week because I don't want to have scruff. I love sci-fi. It's my favorite genre. We are the only ones on the chat. That's fine, Salvatore. I don't need I don't need 15 people here talking to me. What if this happened? No. If it's just you two guys, then so be it. It's a movie no one's heard of, so they were kind of avoiding it. No, he's okay. That thing didn't eat. Hmm. Might I have I not said enough that Mary Crosby is a gorgeous woman in this movie? I love a woman that has authority, but is not an SJW character. Because sometimes I like to see a movie in peace. I don't want to have 15 people in the chat. It's better to have two or three than I don't know why these people have white wigs and tight spandex white spandex pants. Hmm. You're a fine looking specimen. My personal preference is a dark haired, beautiful woman around my size and either younger than me or older than me. That's just my racket. That's legal and alive. Yes, run your fingers through the gorgeous locks of yours. Why you think I love? I think Karen Gilliam is grew on me because she's a beautiful woman. She didn't shave her head and become a non-binary. She knows what she is and she knows what she's got. Sewage plant, like in Star Wars. These costumes look amazing too for 1984. Can't believe this movie's over 30 years old. It is a little bit like Dune as well, just not as I think the budget was lower than that. Oh, trust me, lady, that's not going to happen in this movie. PG movie. They curse a couple of times. There's nothing. There's the one of the most artistic sex scenes in this movie, and it's not gratuitous either. Mm, wow. Yeah, this movie is weird, guys. It was the 80s. A lot of people were high back then. A lot of movies will be 25 this year. Con Air, Face Off, Metro, which I still have to see that one. Double Team, Tomorrow Never Dies, Men in Black Breakdown, and many others. Yeah. Also Anastasia, the animated version that Fox did. And Titanic, but that movie's like 4 hours long. I'm like, if I'm gonna see a 3 hour movie at home, I'm gonna see that and not the Batman, because at least that movie won a ton of Oscars and got so much praise and was the highest grossing movie in the world until Avatar. Hey, Iron Lantern, it just made it. We're about 31 minutes in. These effects still look good for 1984. She's flying, get it? This is like the cantina. If the cantina scene was if you were on acid. That's why I don't do drugs, guys, because I don't need alternate realities when I can do that with just having sugar. Fire Down Below will be 25. That movie's okay. Not as good as Seagal's earlier stuff, but it's not his worst. It is a fun movie. There's also the space herpes in this movie. Is this movie R? No, PG, 1984. So PG-13 didn't was just about to come out, and this movie was not graphic, so they gave it a PG rating. See, look, PG, not R. I wanted to do something light. I didn't want to see another violent movie or something that was overly long. So I saw enough long movies for you guys. Saw the Blade sequels and Bad Boys 2. So I saw a lot of long movies for you guys. Even Patriot Games wasn't 2 hours, but it was pretty long. Anything with sugar in it, yeah. Speaking of Austin Powers, that also. No, that was a PG-13, but it was because it was in the 90s and it didn't have like it didn't have too much nudity or F-bombs to give it an R rating. Nowadays, movies are just R because they have to say an F-bomb every 2 seconds. We get it, James Gunn. We get it. You did Guardians. That movie had actual colorful dialogue and good acting. Not F this and F that and F this and F that and I'll F this and F that. It's the same thing. Not every character needs to say the F bomb. We get it. It's not for kids. When I saw a clip from Harley Quinn, they said the F word once in this clip. It was with Frank the Plant. He was like, oh, boo, hoo. And that scene was funny. When him and Harley Quinn are talking, that was funny. Because I'm like, I didn't expect it. It's not an F bomb every 2 seconds. Is this an action movie? Yeah, sci-fi action comedy. And Frank the Plant from the Harley Quinn cartoon, he looks like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, which I love that movie. He's like, I'm going to try to see that cartoon. I know that Harley is a bisexual. You don't have to tell me in the chat. I get it. It's a cartoon, guys. It's 23 minutes long. That's only about half the running time of a Peacemaker episode. And there's no Bintos in the main cast. Huzzah! Mm-hmm. It's on your face. And this film still looks good. It's not. It doesn't look like an asylum movie or like a direct to streaming movie like the last Ice Age movie. Even Even Speed 2 Cruise Control will be 25. Yeah, that's a bad movie though. I'm not doing that. I'll do the first one by the summer. Even in space, they have like gentlemen's clubs. These robots are cute. I like these robots. Hey, Electric Dino, what's up? Thanks for the compliment. I like doing impressions. I want to entertain you people. You guys go through enough every day. We all go through things. I just had a family issue today, but I'm gonna keep doing this for you guys because you deserve it. I didn't do a podcast yesterday. I was doing the laundry because I stay home and do work. Robert Urich, I miss him. He passed away 20 years ago. I can't believe it, man. It's been 20 years. And also, this didn't get a bunch of horrible sequels like other sci-fi franchises did. I got the Walking with Dinosaurs movie on Blu-ray and DVD. I got it too. I got it because it was at the dollar store. Cute. These robots are adorable. I love them. And they actually serve a purpose. They're not just background characters. Love the first Speed, but the sequel I only saw it once. Yeah, that once was enough for me. It was just bad. I saw clips and I was laughing at how bad it was. Nibs. So this is as comedic as Ghostbusters and Men in Black. Yeah, but it's not like a bunch of it's not really improv. It's more like just sticking to the script. But these guys have charm. Some of the jokes don't work, like the fart joke. That was stupid. I don't like fart jokes in a sci-fi movie. It's just not funny. I don't think I don't think toilet humor is funny, especially when they did it in Peacemaker. I didn't need to see Freddie Stroma's ass. It was not funny. It's gross. This movie doesn't do something like that. It knows what it is. It does make no sense. It does not make sense that they call it Speed 2 when it goes slow. Yeah, and even when they get on the cruise ship, it still goes slow. And there's a black girl in the movie at the end that sounds like us female Jar Jar Binks. It's like, me no see him. Me think they dead. They gone. I'm like, what? Me no see him? When does a Jamaican talk like that? That makes no sense. Me no see him. Great, that Walking with Dinosaurs and Dinosaur 2000 are way better than Jurassic World. Yeah, they're shorter. The effects look better. The CG looks way better on the dinosaurs and the bird-like creatures in that compared to Jurassic World, where it looks like a video game. And even Fallen Kingdom, I didn't like the effects in that either. Hopefully, the new movie can have a nice balance, or just go crazy. Yeah, they shouldn't have done Speed 2 at all, and they did it like 3 years later, so it wasn't a rush sequel. It's just Keanu Reeves said no, and trust me, I don't blame him. Last time I watched Speed 2 was almost 7 years ago, which explains a lot. Yeah, I saw clips from Double Toasted did a bad roast on it, and I'm like, yeah, it deserves it. It was a bad movie back then, and it still is. Because his fingers are like this, they're crooked. Have you heard of Eight Crazy Nights? I saw it. What is Jennifer Lawrence's worst role? Um, Probably as Mystique, not in the first two X-Men movies, but in the last two. The first two films, I thought she was serviceable at best. Not great, but serviceable. In the first one, she looked young. She was young, so I could let it go. But and the second one, I thought that was her only good performance as Mystique. But then in the third one, in Apocalypse, good God, she was like drained. And then in Dark Phoenix, she didn't even bother. And I'm like, yeah, and I would say that. I would say that because she was great in all these other roles as Katniss in the role in the what's it called that Winter's Bone. Yeah, she can act. It's just I thought with as Mystique, she could not match up to Rebecca Romaine. Scary that Batman and Robin will be 25. Yes, and it's horrible still. That's John Carradine. Yeah. Robert Urich did some other films too. I just haven't seen them all because he had a long career from the 80s all the way to like the early 2000s. Then he passed. Let me just check what else he's done. I know he did a TV movie I enjoyed. Well, those are the space herpes. Yeah, they couldn't do a xenomorph because Aliens was coming out like 2 years later. So, ugh. There it is. It looks like a little worm. It looks like it looks like a graboid from Tremors. Even though this was before Tremors. Yeah, he was born in Toronto, Ohio, not Canada. Yeah, he over the course of his 30-year career, he started a record 15 TV series. Wow. He began his career in the 70s, but yeah. Thoughts on the Miz? He's a fun character. Have you heard of Where the Great Go to Die? Yeah, he did Magnum Force. Yeah, that's one of the Dirty Harry movies. Oh, space herpes. Look at those effects. Good effects, man. Thank God herpes don't crawl like on you like that. That would be terrible. Yeah, his last movie was a TV movie in 2003 before he died. A Long Way Home. The President's Man. Yeah, I was not a fan of those movies. Those are those boring Chuck Norris movies from the 2000s. Is Mystique bored out of her mind? Yeah, exactly. And I don't remember Rebecca Romaine ever being bored out of her mind. Even in the third one, in The Last Stand, she tried. She wasn't like, that's my slave name. No, she wasn't like dead inside. And she was willing to wear the makeup for more than one scene. With Lawrence is like, I don't want to wear the makeup. Then you should have signed on to do an X-Men. You should have been Rogue or something. Rogue doesn't wear a lot of makeup. Yeah, Spencer, the Judas Code. That's what I saw him in. It's a really good lead in this movie as Jason. I miss him, man. I really do. The Miz seems like a funny guy, even in interviews. Yeah, I like him as an actor too. I do like the Marine 3. Ooh, ooh. Man, these women are fighting each other. I don't know why. What for? And there is Mary Crosby again with her gorgeous hair. Yeah, they're drinking water like their life depends on it. Well, it does. You need water to live, man. The human body can only go 92 hours without water. Fresh water. Hey, look, a little person. Yes, a little person. I can say it because, again, I'm on the live stream, not the UN building. What is Chris Hemsworth's worst role? Ghostbusters, because he's trying, but it's a role that he did not need to be in. He was the himbo in that movie. I would have said Cabin in the Woods, but he was trying in that movie. The way they killed him off was stupid. The Marine with John Cena was also decent. Even the second one, Ted DiBiase Jr. I like the first one and the third one. Those are the ones I've seen. Yeah, it's a little bit like Blade Runner as well. Well, not Blade Runner, Total Recall. Look at that parrot. Mm-hmm. Ron Perlman was really young in this movie because this was in the 80s. This movie knows what it is. There's another little person. I think that was the little woman. I was going to say little girl that was in Ernest Saves Christmas. It could have been her because she's Whittle. Ron Perlman looks like Rambo. He looks like Rambo if Rambo was a pirate. Three was decent. Yeah, I like The Miz because he's been the only actor in most of the Marine movies. Cena and DiBiase Jr. were only in one, but he's the one that's been in the most. He was in 3, 4, 5, and 6. So obviously it's working. That is her. Yeah, that's the little elf from Ernest Saves Christmas. Big Red ain't gonna like this. Yeah, she's cute. I miss her. Ooh, that word did not age well. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't say that word. This is a PG movie. Don't say the N word again. Yes, Josh. This movie has one N bomb. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not going to repeat it because I'm not racist. He's like, "Where's the guy in that?" Yeah, I'm not going to say it. And don't worry, the MCU will never say the N word when Blade shows up because they can't. It's a very derogatory word. And with this Me Too movement and BLM, if they say that word, there will be freaking riots in the streets. She's cute. The Marine is basically like an anthology. Yeah, kind of. It is. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, you're not right. You're not wrong, a little one. Mary Crosby is a beautiful woman, and not the only one, but she's the most gorgeous woman in this film. And I met some dwarves in college. They were like this size, and I thought they were cute because they're little. Dwarfism doesn't bother me, guys. They're still human. They have more heart and more humanity than a lot of people that are like 6 or 7 feet tall. Are you going to review the Walking with Dinosaurs movie? I'll probably do a podcast for that sometime because March is going to be random month. So everything I review is going to be a totally random. There won't be any. It won't be one kind of film. It won't be one rating or one kind type. Whether it's live action or animated, it could be any film at random. But it's got to be something I have not reviewed yet. So I'll check my. Oh yeah, she does. She's like, "You're very beautiful." I'm like, I know. These movies are when they're not lying, they're not lying. I will take a Mary Crosby any day, even in her old age, over Emily Blunt any day. Yeah, Hercules is going to be the Disney Hercules, or Heracles, as it's supposed to be called, because the Roman name is Hercules. But it was Disney; they didn't know better. It's a kids' movie. I watch movies for their entertainment value, not their historical accuracy. The one thing I don't like about Angelica Houston is the insignia on her ear. I think that was a little bit too much. It's space. I don't think there are insignias in space. Like the Empire in Star Wars didn't have insignias. Dante's Peak will also be 25. Yeah, the movie's on HBO Max. Again, I agree. Ooh, that has not aged well either. Yeah, they have swords and blasters in this movie, so it's a mix of both. They're still pirates. Like, this kicks the crap out of some of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. It's not 2.5 hours long. Because I'm sorry, the third movie was just way too long. I don't know what the hell Disney was thinking. Let's make the first 30 minutes not be with Johnny Depp, and let's make it about slaves, Asians, and freaking talking. That's all you had. 30 minutes of that. I would have been bored to death in the theater if I saw that. Like, sometimes you got to make movies shorter. I don't need another 3-hour Pirates movie. And without Johnny Depp, it's not going to work. Puppy! Ooh, decapitation! Even her face is a beautiful face. Just, if I met that woman, I would say, you are a gorgeous woman. Yes. Hmm. Yep, she slashed him. There's a parrot. Yeah. This is definitely like Dune. They're in a desert. Yeah. Because a lot of space movies have to show a desert of some kind. They look groundhogs or gophers or whatever. Those are little puppets. Yeah. Was the Asians forced? Yes, it was. Because it wasn't like it was a diversity hire back in 2007. It wasn't. It wasn't. Oh yeah, let's be more. Let's be more. Let's be more diverse in the right way. No, Disney forced it, and they were not part of the plot. And there's like so many accents in that movie that I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Copland was Stallone, yeah. A frog head? No. Oh, yeah, she sounds like this. Nowadays, there's people that sound like that because they either smoke too much or they got that surgery, which I'm not going to talk about here because it's a new day. Sweetwater, city of the future. That's a city in Texas. They're looking for ice because ice can be turned into water when it melts. Ooh, that effect was a little bit dated. The tongue, the makeup effects still look great, and the practical effects. There's the little gophers. They're cute. Because, like I said, they go to Singapore, not China, and Chow Yun Fat's there. They're talking and talking and talking, and they don't even serve a purpose at the end of the third act in the Maelstrom. It's just too many characters in that movie. And I'm like, Spider-Man 3 had problems, but it did not, it wasn't 2.5 hours. So Pirates just did a diversity hire and nothing else. Yeah. You already had diversity. Oh, little donkeys. So cute. And piggies. Again, the first movie already had a diversity, a diverse cast. You didn't need more of that forced in there. It also looks like the Road Warrior, Mad Max, Road Warrior. Yeah. Time Warp. Do you think Beverly Hills Cop 3 is underrated? Yeah. It's not as good as the first two, but I don't hate it. I laughed. Even with the silly tone in Wonderworld, I was laughing my ass off when the little kid punches him in the stomach and he's like, "Ooh, that makes me laugh." Because he punches him and yeah, that's hilarious. I laugh because I'm like, I'm gonna do those movies eventually. Yeah. Oh, you little mother. That's funny, man. Did Pirates have any black African Americans? No, not really. Looking back on the films, no. Disney was just like, we're gonna have white people in the Caribbean, like one or two Spanish people, and a bunch of Australians, Brits, and people that we don't care about in the Caribbean. There are no Brits in the Caribbean, you freaking imbeciles of Disney. There's Spanish people, black people, and Creole people. There are no Brits in the freaking Caribbean or Australians, you freaking idiots. Disney just doesn't, they're just, historically inaccurate in most of the things they do. They did a movie about Russians and they cast a bunch of American and British actors to play Russian. Stupid. Ellis DeWald, oh, that cracks me up when he's like, and then he punches him. That's funny. I don't want to hear that Eddie Murphy's not funny in that movie. No, see 1,000 words. That's way worse because he can't even talk in that movie. At least in Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, 3, he could actually speak. Skeletor. Prince of Persia slipped the same mistake. Yeah, that was awful. And the fact that the Sands of Time have to reverse the movie like if nothing had happened, yeah, that was a cop out. The movie already sucked, but then when that happened, I'm like, yeah, you did a Superman 2 or Superman 1. There's the donkeys. Uh-oh. All right. Bounty hunters again, just like in Mando. That's an awesome looking vehicle. Yeah. Mad Max Fury Road, eat your heart out. This was made with practical effects in the 80s, like Road Warrior. And they're like, that's the greatest movie to ever be made with practical effects. Really? Beverly Hills Cop movies, one of my favorites. Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. I want to watch them again. We're about an hour in. We're almost done. It's about 34 minutes left. Watch it, robot. Watch it. Yeah, again. You know why they made fun of Mad Max Fury Road in Space Jam 2, because again, it's an easy movie to make fun of how ridiculous it is. People took that seriously. Dune was taken seriously, and that movie did better. Yeah, and who's getting all the Oscar nominations? Dune. Better director, better cast, better freaking atmosphere. And it's the most gorgeous movie I saw last year at home, not in the theater. It deserves all the Oscar nods that it got. Every single one of them. Every gorgeous frame of that movie. And people are like, it's overrated. It's so boring. But you don't want to look at the movie. I saw the effects in that movie. I'm like, wow, Denis Villeneuve's movie is just amazing. Oh, it got ran over. Beverly Hills Cop 3 did something different. Yeah, exactly. And people don't like something different. They want the same movie again and again. I always enjoyed how it took place in Wonderland, Wonderworld, kind of like Die Hard clone. Uh, well, in Wonder World is like a Disney, is like Disney World. And Dave is in that movie is played by Alan Young, who was like a knockoff Disney. He was Scrooge McDuck's voice. And I miss him a lot. Too loud, too proud. Yeah, too proud because mhm. Both Superman and Prince of Persia reverse the entire movie in the climax, but you still have Superman. And no, because Superman only reversed when Lois died. It didn't. The first almost 2 hours of that movie still count. They did that worse in the Richard Donner cut, where the whole movie is like it never happened. I'm like, yeah, you didn't need to do that. I prefer the mind wiping kiss because even though it was stupid, it didn't erase the whole movie. Oh look, boy. That cracks me up. And in that god awful Cat in the Hat movie, that musical number is weird, and that boy just cracks me up. I don't know why, because it just comes out of nowhere. When does boy rhyme with hall? The heat is on. Yeah. Oh, that cringe. That scene just cracks me up because he wants to say the word ball, but he can't because it's a kids movie, and yeah, it's too much. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that horrible Cat in the Hat movie from 2003. That spaceship looks awesome. There's the little prairie dogs or gophers, and they're puppets. You can tell they're moving like this. At least they're not CGI. And the animals are real. They're not CG. So Superman versing the entire movie had a purpose when Lois died. Yeah, to save her. In Prince of Persia, the writers were like, "We don't care. The entire movie didn't happen anyway." Yeah, and it was bad. And they cast a bunch of white people to play Persians. The beautiful hair. You're watching TV in space. And the reception up there must be amazing. What is that? So there's hands in the thing. This movie's very creative. The herpes. Yeah, space herpes. Get it, get it, get it. It's like the scene in Alien when the chest burster comes out. No, this is more sillier though. Yeah. Yeah, if something like that came out of my turkey, I would leave. Let me see if Mary Crosby's still alive. Yeah, guys go. Mm-hmm. She's 62 years old now, and she still looks amazing. Got married in 1998 for the second time. She was the daughter of Bing Crosby and Catherine Grant. Oh, no wonder she's beautiful. Catherine Grant is the she was the main girl in Sinbad, the Seven Voyages of Sinbad. She looks just like her mom. Cena, I don't know. Her last film was a movie called The M Word in 2014. She's had a lengthy career. Bring me a higher love. Deadly Innocence. Tape heads. Mm-hmm. She was on the Danny Thomas Show in 1967. So cute. I knew I recognized her face. I know her last name, yeah, but I gotta put this. I gotta set this up soon. An ocelot. Ooh, a planet full of women with no pants. Oh, a flamboyant villain. That's a real ocelot too. It's not fake. It's not like in Prince of Persia is also right up there with the Super Mario Bros. One of the examples of video games being made into movies doesn't go well. Well, I enjoy the Mario Brothers movie because it was the first live action movie, and it has a charm that I really enjoy even to this day. Detective Pikachu and Sonic did it right, of course, because they respect the games and the fan base. Come on, shut it off. Oh, decapitation. Sexy women, yeah, with no pants. Nowadays, they would call this sexist. Again, one of them is black, so that's really good. They're Amazonian women. He's still alive, yeah. She does look like her mom a lot. Her dad, well, she kind of has. She doesn't sound like this. Yeah. Yep. She does remind me of her mom because I love Catherine Grant. I love for the Seven Voyages of Sinbad. That is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in a fantasy movie. And yes, I know that's saying a lot because Carrie Fisher was so beautiful. But again, Catherine Grant is still around. A feather. Even the black guy's not taking the scene seriously. Hey, cover your nose, man. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, he had to put a feather in his face. It's not really a main villain, it's just a side character. It's kind of like a Jabba. Mm. Those women are huge, man. They're buff and they don't have any dialogue, but hey, it's a movie from the 80s, so have you played Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine? No. Did you hear sadly pass away? Frank Pesh. I mean, who's that? Frank Pesh. Who's this? Frank Pesh. He was in Beverly Hills Cop films, mid-right run. He was 75. Okay, so yeah, now I remember him a little bit. Yeah, that's too bad, man. Rest in peace, Frank. Rest in peace. Blaring. Yeah, guys shouldn't do this because you shouldn't flutter your eyes. Women should do that, not guys. Flamboyant, I'll say. I'm not going to say the G word this time. Oh, he got his tongue all over the ring. No, after you put your DNA on it, your dirty mouth. See, this is the kind of humor that makes me laugh. Saying an F bomb every 2 seconds is not funny, James Gunn. So get over yourself. I know he had to write that during the pandemic, that there was no excuse. He had the same cringe dialogue from the Suicide Squad. And there's just too much of that. Too much dirty humor. Actually tell a joke with a punchline. Not boom, dick joke. No. Give me something different. Hologram because Star Wars. The guy who played the cigarette guy, and yeah, I have to see that movie again. It's been a while. It's a much better scene than the scene in Rogue One because unlike in Rogue One, I didn't care about Matt Mikkelsen's character in that movie, and I hated Jyn Erso. She was not interesting. She was never feminine, and she was boring. And you have the worst beaver actress I've ever seen. Bring me I just got my nose done. Yeah. I really don't want to hear that in a space movie again. Some flamboyant villain that just doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut. Him or her or it, whatever. We're almost done, guys. We got about 20 minutes left. Or less than 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's still a fun movie. I still enjoy this movie a lot. I'm never selling it. It's a piece of history from my life that I want to keep. Josh couldn't join. What is Robert Downey Jr.'s worst role? Probably Doolittle. But no, I haven't seen it because I'm like that I've seen. I don't know, but I would say his most, a good acting, but bad, like, the most, irreprehensible person he played was in Natural Born Killers, where he's just an asshole. I couldn't do it. Mm. It's awkward. It's like in the scene in Watchmen when Dr. Manhattan is going down on Silk Spectre too, but he can't please her because he's not human. He lost his humanity in an experiment. But then Night Owl steps in, and I'm like, yeah, and he can procreate because he's human. That's what we're here for, guys. Would you ask Doolittle really that's how you follow up Iron Man? Yeah, exactly. They had to kill Tony Stark off for that movie? Yeah, it's not worth it. There's the kiss. Oh yeah, buddy. Yep, the Earth is moving for them. Get it? Heterosexuality, yes, even in sci-fi, is alive and well. It's not going anywhere, guys. People like to procreate. Yep. Here it comes. One of the most artistic sex scenes without being gratuitous, because it's a PG movie. They can't. That, with the background, there's like a water background behind them. Hmm. Look at that. He's touching her hair. There's water in the background. And that music in the background, too. Yeah. They never show a scene like this in Star Wars. And again, this is real passion, guys. The hobo kissing Kylo was stupid. That was forced and weird and awkward because Adam Driver is old enough to be her older brother. I should take my saber out. Eh? Oh, you gorgeous creature. You're so stiff. Wink, wink. Hmm. That's right. Kiss that neck of hers. And people say that the sex scenes are awkward in movies. Yeah, tell that to any adult film star. See the kissing in the rain again. We never saw that in The Notebook. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, right down there. A Night of Passion in Space. Hmm. I get the imagery. So all the pirates in the are just like Rose Tico forced. Yes, and there it is. That was the sex scene. See, it didn't last 5 minutes. It was only a few seconds, but it's done in an artistic way without it being gratuitous or too graphic or you know dirty. It's done well, and they didn't have to show Robert Urick's behind. Again, James Gunn, take notes. I know he doesn't do PG movies. I mean, he did a trauma movie for crying out loud, and in those scenes, the sex scenes are way more gratuitous. Yep, light speed. That was funny. Dun-dun-dun. Was the Island Full of Dicks joke funny? Yeah, in the trailer it was funny, but then when every other joke after that is like that, I'm like, again, James Gunn, stop being childish. Not every joke needs to be dirty to be funny. Again, this movie, those effects look great, even for their time. Yeah, they're running in fast forward because they went to light speed. Yeah, I know. This is probably the most annoying character in the movie. This fat guy. Hmm. Yeah, I think she's pregnant because she just did the deed with Jason. It's a fun movie. They should have shown more of the ice in the movie. They only showed it in like one scene. This is fun to do. I'm glad I'm watching this movie again. The chat was a lot more respectful this time. Oil. That was, of course not. You're gay. Oh, I said it. Oh. What is the most stupidest villain in the DCU? Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. Yeah, Because as much as Steppenwolf was a joke in the Justice League theatrical cut, look a pig. At least in that movie, he did something. But with Jesse Eisenberg, he was annoying the entire film, and I'm like, that is not Lex Luthor. She's pregnant, yeah. They made a baby. That was quick. Oh, that's gross. Well, she had a baby in less than 9 months. That's a record. I know this premature birth, but also, they were in space. I guess 9 months passed in the light speed. Those strobe lights are a little much. Thankfully, they're not in the film that much, and there's no lens flares. They're aging because the time is going forward. We got to push the clock forward in 2 weeks. And look, the baby is already a kid. Nanny died. They're getting old. They're aging. It's like in Interstellar when they get older. Like Murph goes from a little girl to a woman. Here it is just a lot faster. I forgot about this part. It's been a couple years since I've seen this. Seems pretty fun. There's the ice again at the end of the movie. Yeah, what are they, like 95 years old now? Ice! Boom! Dun, 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 dun. It's the same actor. That was trippy. Yeah, that beautiful hair. And the thing is, Mary Crosby's in her 60s now. She doesn't look like an old lady. She still looks beautiful. Oh God, this character. Yeah, this character is the most annoying. I forgot he was in the film, and he comes so late into the film. He's not. He's barely a character. Earth. Yep, there it is. The planet Earth. The planet where there's a lot of water. Yeah, except the people on the Earth, some of them don't belong on the Earth, just to let you know. Thanks for watching in the chat, guys. Iron Lantern, Salvatore, uh, what you call it, Jay. You guys were respectful on this podcast. Hmm. That was fun. That was a fun movie. I'm glad I got to rewatch it. Princess Karina. Oh no, wait! I don't want to get a copyright infringement. So that was Ice Pirates, guys. Thanks for watching. I didn't want to get a copyright infringement. YouTube, do not penalize me. That was like less than a second of music. Thanks for watching. I'm glad I got to rewatch this movie. It's been a couple years, and nice light movie. Light fun, PG fun. So in the movie, a human gets teleported into space and must find a way back to Earth. Yeah, and they go through a time warp where they age really rapidly. But that's the end of the movie. This is the disc. It's a nice couple on the front. It's a good movie. I'm really glad that I bought this movie. It holds up. It holds up really well. Some of the humor doesn't, but a lot of it still holds up really well. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll try to do another podcast tomorrow. See you later, guys. Done.